Hi, and welcome to Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I'm Dustin Dumas Weeks, and today we have two guests who are entrepreneurs. We are here with Bruce Freeman, who is the founder of ProLine Communications and an adjunct professor at Seton Hall. And we're also here with Nupoor Peter, who is one of the co-founders of Baby Mantra. And they're both going to give us a little idea of what they do and how they started their businesses. So first of all, thank you for being here.
Our pleasure.
So the first question, so one of the reasons I wanted you both here was that you have two different types of businesses. Nupoor, your business is baby based. It's more of it's tangible. And Bruce, your business is a service business. So I wanted to sort of compare and contrast. But before we do that, I wanted to find out, first of all, I'm going to start with you, Bruce. Why did you start ProLine Communications?
Well, actually, I'm what the Wall Street Journal once called an entrepreneur by necessity. I was working in a management position for a big publishing firm, Ziff Davis.
Okay.
New captain came to town, wanted his own lieutenants, and I was out of business. And I decided at that point I was married with a mortgage, with a 2-year-old, with hopes for a second one. Hopes is now in college, and I decided that I never wanted to be in the position where one person could pull the financial plug on me. And so I decided to go into business for myself. I used the skills that I had from publishing. I knew all the editors, all the journalists, and so off I went into public relations and marketing.
Well, you said that you had a mortgage, you were married, you had a child, and you wanted to have a second child. That seems like to most people, they would think, I want something that's more secure. I don't want to leap out and try something that's entrepreneurial. What made you decide to go that route?
That's a good question. I think the reason I decided is I was concerned that if it happened once, it could happen a second time. I didn't want to be in that position. My wife said to me, you'll never be happy working for someone again, so now's the time, you're young, give it your best shot, and it's 20 years later now, and I'm still in business, and would never turn around and work for someone again, and I'm glad I made the decision I did. Not that I haven't had a few bumps along the way.
Right, but at least you were doing something that you really, truly love doing.
That's absolutely correct.
And so, Nupoor, for you, why did you decide to start Baby Mantra with your co-founder?
Well, as growing up, my mom used to use natural and organic stuff on us. She used to make stuff up at home and use it on us, and that's what we knew. And then, as growing up, you want to try all these new things with nice smell and all that. So I did all that. But once I had my own kids, 5 years ago, I had my first daughter, and that's when I started thinking that I have to do the same thing my mom did for us, because everything out there has chemicals and toxins and fragrance. I wanted everything natural and organic for my kids, so I started mixing it up and doing it for them. And then now she's 5, so I thought that I should bring it out to other people.
Oh, okay. So it seems like it was a matter of necessity. Like
yes.
There wasn't anything available?
Oh, well, there were a few things, but nothing that I would like. So I thought I should and I had my mom's thing, so I should just make it and use it on them. So that's what I did.
Wow, that's pretty amazing, because again, just like Bruce, there are lots of jobs out there. You can get a job, or there are positions anyway. And with you, Nupoor, there are obviously lots of baby products,
yes.
But you both found something that was not. Yes, that's wonderful. I want to get back to you, Bruce. You have your book here,
Okay.
Birthing the Elephant, and along with of course, being the founder of ProLine Communications, you're also an adjunct professor at Seton Hall, and you said in entrepreneurship. Is that correct?
Entrepreneur, and I also have a syndicated column with Scripps Howard News Service. I have a column on small business that goes out every Wednesday to about 350 newspapers.
Wow, and you also found time to write a book. I
Found
don't know
time
how,
to
but
write a book. It's interesting. The book, Birthing the Elephant, most small business books are about what we call the 3 M's, money, marketing, and management. Mm-hmm. And the book that Karen Abarbanel and I did was on motivation. how do you stay strong during that emotional roller coaster of starting a business? It's not easy, or everyone would be doing it.
Right.
But there's a lot of satisfaction. There's a lot of success. There's a lot of happiness when you succeed on your own and it's yours. There's a lot of self-reliance. There's a lot of confidence that you build along the way, because there's no one to rely on, really. Your success is your success, and you can't blame your failure on your colleague sitting in the next office.
So is that what your book explores?
Book explores a number of different things. The book is really a coach. It's predominantly about women entrepreneurs, and it really talks about that emotional staying power that you need to run a business. It's about it's coaching, it's tips, it's how do you get through those first few months of the emotionality of starting a business.
Okay.
It talks about waking up in the morning and giving yourself 15 minutes of fear before you start your day. And it gives great tips. I think it's an enjoyable book to read, and I can tell you it was an enjoyable book to do. As you can see, the forward is by Bobbi Brown, the cosmetic queen.
Yes.
And she said something very interesting to us when we spoke to her, and she said most people find obstacles along the way, and if a door is closed, she said, go find a window, but you got to get in.
Got to get through it, right. So that brings you back to, you talked a little bit about managing your time. So Nupoor, I know that you also, you're doing this full time, but you also have other responsibilities. You said you have at least a 5-year-old.
Yes, I have 2 kids.
Okay.
So
how do you
I'm
find?
stay-at-home mom, so I drop them to school, I pick them up, one goes half days, so I make time in between. And I used to do, at the beginning, I used to work all the way, like until 2 in the morning when they go to sleep, so I can concentrate, because, young kids running around, they don't let you do much.
Right. So you managed to do all of that, and so how did you connect with your co-founder? Like, was your co-founder, were you in contact with her? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, so that's my sister, and me and my sister, so we're on the phone at night. So, and it's easy to work with your sister than anyone else, but yeah.
So she also had to have those same hours as you?
Yes, because she works, right? She had a normal job. She doesn't have any kids, but she had 8 to 5 job. So she goes there, and then in the evening when my kids go to sleep and she's ready, we will be on the phone and kind of decide on how we want to go about it and how to set our deadlines and the timings and what we're going to do next day.
Okay. And I also know that you recently attended an expo in LA.
Yes.
So what was the expo? And
well, it's the biggest expo for natural and organic products.
Okay.
So that's what we thought we should, take our products there, so get the word out there. A lot of people come there, and a lot of people will know about our products. So that's why we attended it.
Okay.
So me and my sister both went there, and we met a lot of interesting people there.
And so you mentioned that it was for natural and organic products. I'm assuming that yours are.
Yes, they are, and they are NPS certified as well.
And what is that?
That's Natural Products Association. They certify your products just so then you can say for sure they're natural, because a lot of products out there, they say they're natural and organic, but that doesn't mean anything anymore.
So I'm like, what is the process to go?
Oh, they go through each and every ingredient in your product, and then they look at the extraction method, how it came about, and your product has to be at least 98% natural in order to get the certification.
So that sounds like it's a pretty rigorous
yes, it took us
process.
We got a shampoo and body wash NPS certified, and it took us about 8 to 10 months.
Wow, okay.
It's a very long process.
So you had to do
yes, and
planning.
you had to get all the documents from the suppliers, and it's very hard to get these documents. It takes a long time to get it out, but we did it.
Okay, so I mean that's pretty wonderful, because you have to really think about when you're going to launch your product, because I'm assuming that you want to launch it, it's preferable to launch it with the natural and organic title as opposed to
just saying it. Yes, that's our goal. Every single product of ours will be NPS certified.
Okay. So I wanted to get back to like some of the reasons why you both you've already explained why you decided to start your different products, in your case, your different service. What are some of the things that you did not expect along the way? I'll have you start. So when you were starting off with ProLine Communications, what was something that you totally did not expect?
I didn't expect how much it was going to cost.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, when you start off in business, you have to realize that you need a phone, a fax, a computer, and you need money.
Okay.
You also, I think at the beginning of a business, is you begin to realize what you know and what you don't know. You think you're a Superman or a Superwoman at the beginning. You're coming out and you're going to do everything yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think it's even, knowing what you know is important, but I think knowing what you don't know is even more important.
Okay.
Because then you have to find the people with the skill sets that you don't have to help supplement the business. It could be you're good at A and the other person's good at B and C, but by yourself, you're not going to launch it. You're going to need to get those skill sets to help the business grow.
Okay. And Nupoor, what did you find?
Well, when we started, we thought we'll be done in 3 months. We'll have the products ready and we'll be out there.
You thought you'd have all this done
yes,
in 3 months?
in 3 months, right?
The product, the labeling, everything.
And labeling and everything, we thought it'll be, 3 months.
It took a little longer?
Yes, it took us a year and a half from 3 months. But we learned, we had patience, and we kept on going, and finally we made it.
So was there anything that
Yes, a lot of bumps. Things we didn't know. You learn as you make mistakes, and then you learn from it. Like labeling was the biggest mistake we made. It cost us a lot.
What happened with your labeling?
He said, no one told us that more colors you have on your logo or label, it costs you more. So we didn't know that when we went to talk to labelers, once we had the websites and the logo and everything done, and they told us that depending on how many colors you have, that's how much it's going to cost you.
Wow.
And that was a shock.
Dustin, one of the biggest problems I think with most entrepreneurs is they know their business. A computer consultant's going to know his or her business. Mm-hmm. Someone's going to know their product. Generally speaking, they don't know how to sell. And they come out without that skill set. They've never had to make money on their own to live. They've always worked for someone. So everything was sold by someone else. Now the skill set that you need to monetize your business is really selling the product, whether it be selling Nupoor's products or selling my book or selling my ProLine communication services. You have to learn how to sell, how to meet people. You have to learn how to borrow money. You have to learn how to negotiate business lines of credit. There are a lot of things that you didn't have to do when you worked for someone else.
That's a great point. We're going to stop here for this segment, and we're going to come right back and learn some more.
In this economic downturn, libraries across New Jersey are reporting jumps in attendance of as much as 50% over the past year. Nearly 200,000 people use our computers every week.
Who'd have guessed that I'd be job hunting at my age? After spending several hours at home trying to upload my resume, I was just overwhelmed. My library showed me how to do it. Now I'm gaining back my confidence.
New Jersey libraries are transforming lives. Tell us your story.
Hi, and welcome back to Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I'm Dustin Dumas Weeks, and today we are here with Bruce Freeman, the founder of ProLine Communications, and also an adjunct professor at Seton Hall. And we are with Nupoor Peter, who is one of the co-founders of Baby Mantra. So we wanted to get back into the conversation. I wanted to ask you a little bit about who, if you have any mentors, advisors, when you were on this path to entrepreneurship, who was helping you? So, Nupoor, can you start off?
Well, it was only me and my sister. There was no mentor. We just went on to Google and searched for everything we needed. And as we went on, we learned from one person to another. We went to the chemist. We found the chemist through Google.
Okay.
And then through him, we learned about the NPA.
Okay.
So we followed the NPA. From NPA, we learned about the Expo. but there was no mentor. It was more like Google.
And you know, what is your background? Like, did you have a background in chemistry? Like, did this
No.
help?
I was in IT. I did that
Okay.
for 6 years.
Okay. Okay.
But I had it in me because my mom used to make it, so I have seen it.
Right.
It's just to make it, how to preserve it. Because when you make it at home, it won't last you more than a week.
Okay.
Put
So
it
that's
on
why you
the-
had to go to the chemist or
Yes.
find a chemist who could make it last longer
Yes.
for commercial
Yes.
use. Okay. And with you, Bruce, did you have someone who helped you along the way, or did you do
I
some-
actually had a number of people. I was fortunate because while I do public relations and marketing, I focus on the high-tech industry. And having worked at PC Magazine before I started my business, I knew a lot of the editors, I knew a lot of the vendors. So when I decided to go out on my own through referrals and references and people in the industry, I was able to meet with and gain a lot of knowledge from some of the industry leaders. I also had the advantage of being in a magazine that was at the forefront of technology for a while. So the people who used to come and pitch their products to me became good friends as I needed to learn how to pitch my services to them.
Okay.
So it was interesting. I had a good start. I was in the right industry at the right time, and I knew a lot of the industry leaders, so that was a huge help.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you had some help in that, in some way.
Yes,
but I'm
I did.
assuming that you also had to, for the people who weren't able to help you or who did not have those particular, I don't know, connections, you had to go and find them, I take it?
I think a lot of entrepreneurship, whether it's Nupoor's product or my service, is, and maybe you'll agree with me, you really have to find your own way.
Yes.
You make your mistakes, and hopefully you don't make the same mistake too many times. You learn from it, you move on. You make money mistakes, you make marketing mistakes, you mismanage your time sometimes, and what you do is you keep going on, you keep persevering, you keep finding different ways. Even the book and the Scripps Howard column that I mentioned really was an outgrowth of ProLine Communications. And while ProLine Communications is where I make my income, the other tools like a book or a syndicated column become marketing tools for your main business. The beauty of a book is you don't make a fortune on a book. And if you go in with thinking you're going to make a fortune on a book, you're going to be sadly mistaken. Actually, this book sold about 5,200 copies, which was pretty
That's
good for a
good,
first-time business book. But what this book does for me, it becomes a calling card.
Right.
It says to the world that I'm an expert on something because I wrote a book.
Right.
And that's the beauty of having it as a marketing tool. Now, my next book, which I'm working on, I hope makes a lot of money. But
Because now you have this as traction, and of course your
Right.
your column, and you're a professor, and of course you're the founder of ProLine Communications. So
Well,
all of those things together probably
absolutely.
help.
It's all a package. Each one parlays to the next. The column parlayed to a book. The book earned out its advance. It sold over, it covered its cost to the publishing company, 10-Speed Press, which is a division of Random House. And if you don't earn out your advance, if you don't sell enough copies, a publisher's not going to talk to you for a
Right.
second book.
Right.
So now that I have the first book, we have a proposal in. We're hoping we're going to have a couple of takers on it.
Great. So that leads me into the next question. You're talking about marketing, and I know Nupoor, you said you just came back from the expo in LA. So maybe you could start off by telling us, like, what kind of marketing are you doing? Do you plan to do? Have you
Well,
thought about it long
Yeah.
term?
well, long term, maybe we'll have to hire someone to do marketing for us.
Okay.
For now, we're doing Facebook and Twitter
Okay.
and trying to get the word out there. We'll do Facebook ad and Twitter ad and stuff like that. Nothing big at this time. Maybe we'll work, and we're marketing to bloggers too. A lot of mommy bloggers.
Oh,
We send them the
okay.
products, they review our products, and they write a blog about us. So their followers will see our review, and that way they can direct them to our website.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs, when they're first starting out, seem to think that they have to spend a lot of money. And what you have just...
It's kind of free.
Yeah,
Everything is
yes.
free. Facebook is free, Twitter is free, and bloggers are free. You just have to send them your product.
Exactly. So that, I mean, that's really good to
Yes.
know for people who are thinking about going into business for themselves, that if you make the effort, whether it's Twitter or Google Plus or Facebook or
Yes.
whatever you want to use, there's a lot of technology out there that will help get your product in front of a lot of people.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that when you put your stuff out there, you're not just getting the people within this region, you're getting people all over the world.
Yes,
you know.
because they're all online, right? They're all on Facebook and Twitter. So you just follow the right people and follow the right bloggers, and they kind of
And I'm
reach
glad-
more people.
I'm glad you mentioned the mommy bloggers, because for your particular product,
Yes.
this is, I mean, although I've used it as well. I'm a mommy, but I'm just saying that it's not all, a lot of people can use it. And not only the babies,
Yes.
but, you know, the parents, you know, anyone who likes the product.
Yeah, and natural and organic stuff.
Yes.
If you have sensitive skin, you can use it.
Yes. And Bruce, what kind of marketing did you do for Birthing the Elephant and for ProLine Communications and for your scripts column? Like, how did you get the word out?
Okay, on ProLine Communications, it was mostly a referral business. I specialized in high-tech PR.
Okay.
A lot of people knew me from my days at PC Magazine, so I had instant credibility. I basically put my name out there. I was on every email, every television show I could get on. I was in a couple of the newspapers like the Star Ledger, and it kept building. One thing kept building on the other. With a book, it's a different kind of marketing. With a book, you want to be on TV shows, you want to be on, you want to do radio tours. We were fortunate, 10 Speed Press had a great publicist, so we got into all the publisher weeklies and
that's great.
shelf awareness and all the industry press where all the book buyers look to see what's hot in books. We also did a radio tour with a company called Plan Television Arts, which is a division of Reuter Finn, one of the big agencies. We had to pay for that.
Okay.
But we did about 30 or 40 radio shows. We got placed in a number of newspapers, and you keep building and building and building. And, you know, there's an old expression in marketing, run it up the flagpole and see who salutes.
Well, that's what I like about both of your strategies, because you had the backing of 10 Speed Press and their publicist, so you had a lot more traction probably than most people who would write a book independently. And for you, Nupoor, what you're saying is that you went out and you thought about which technologies would help, you know, whether it's Twitter or Facebook. And I think this is great, because entrepreneurs who are watching will know that there are two different types of ways to promote and market your product or service.
I think probably, Nupoor, we probably all used a variety. I mean, I have a Twitter account, a Facebook account. I use LinkedIn mostly because
Okay.
I find that's more of a professional
Yes.
network. You try what works, and what works one month may not work the next
Yes.
month.
Yes.
You have to keep trying different things all the time. There's no, I
There's
think
no one perfect way. You just have to keep going, and well, like you said, what works today may not work tomorrow. And for example, I mean, MySpace is sort of an example. It started off pretty strong, and now it's not as strong as some of the other, you know, online social networks.
Right.
But you know what? Before I forget, I wanted to look at a few of your products, and so this is the Baby Mantra line.
Yes.
So can you tell me, first of all, how many products do you have?
Well, right now we're coming out with 4. So
Okay.
we're going to have shampoo and body wash.
Okay.
And calming massage oil and lotion for babies.
Okay.
And
can
we
I
have a mommy body butter for mothers and adults.
And this is it?
That is it.
This is nice. I'm just going to try a little bit
And
of
it's all
this.
natural and organic, and that's in the line to get NPS certified as well.
This is nice.
Yes, it's
Very nice.
It's not greasy at all.
No,
Just-
no. So that's the
Body butter.
the body butter?
Yes.
And this is the calming massage oil.
Yes.
So typically, what would a mom or dad or caregiver use this?
Like you can massage your baby right after their bath or before they go to sleep, and it calms them down. It's very nice oil. It has apricot oil, avocado oil, and jojoba oil.
Okay.
And it kind of keeps their skin nice and smooth, and it's not greasy at all, so it will not stick to their clothes.
That's wonderful. And we have the.
It's a lotion.
This is the lotion, okay?
Yes.
I'm not going to put the lotion on because I already put on
Yes.
the body.
Oh, that's fine. And that's the shampoo and body wash.
Now this is, I like this. I like these kind of products because it's 2 in 1. You have the
Yes.
shampoo and the body wash. You're not trying to, you don't have all
Create
these
two
different
separate
jars
Yes.
in the shower or the bath. We only have a couple of minutes, but I wanted both of you to tell me, like, what, 2 lessons or 2 things that you would advise other entrepreneurs to think about before, like, what 2 pieces of advice would you give other entrepreneurs? We can start with you, Bruce.
Okay, couple of things. Relationships.
Okay.
It's your greatest asset in business and in life, the relationships that you can build.
Okay.
You can buy almost anything else, but you can't buy relationships. Always keep building relationships and always keep cementing relationships. Don't forget the people that helped you along the way.
All right.
The second piece of advice I like to give is keep your emotional distance from naysayers. There are plenty of people out there who'll tell you what you can't do, why you won't do it, and why you're going to fail.
Wonderful.
Okay. Stay away from them emotionally. You can hang out with them at the bar, but try to keep your emotional distance.
Wonderful. We only have a minute, so I'm gonna have Nupoor finish it up. What 2 pieces of advice would you give entrepreneurs?
I will tell people that never to give up.
Okay.
Keep going. And we expected it to be done in 3 months. And it took us a year and a half, but we made it because we
Yes.
had patience. And you make a lot of mistakes, but you just learn from your mistakes, not give up.
Okay, and what's your second piece of advice?
Well, second piece of advice is relationships. I just learned from him.
Wonderful. This is great. Well, that is it for this edition of Dustin's Kaleidoscope. Thank you so much for being here. We'll have to have him come back again and follow up. So that's it this time, and we will see you next time. Bye.